electoral violence poses a significant threat to democratic consolidation in Africa. This video explores strategies for mitigating such violence and managing election-related conflicts, drawing on the work of Christopher Appiah-Thompson and recent developments on the continent. We'll examine how both formal institutions and traditional leaders play crucial roles in ensuring peaceful electoral processes. Many African states have experienced post-electoral conflicts due to weak electoral institutions, but some have managed to avoid large-scale violence. This video seeks to explain why and how peace can be maintained. Across the African continent, various countries have faced these challenges, from Ghana and Kenya to Nigeria, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. Traditional leaders, such as chiefs, often enforce norms of peace and tolerance within their communities. They act as mediators, resolving disputes and preventing violence, especially when formal institutions are weak or ineffective. Christopher Appiah-Thompson's research highlights their importance in conflict transformation, shifting zero-sum disputes towards dialogue and shared norms. Unlike formal actors, traditional authorities often possess greater cultural legitimacy and trust within their communities, allowing them to de-escalate tensions more effectively. We begin by highlighting key African countries where electoral violence and conflict management have been significant issues, including Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Liberia. Electoral violence includes any act or threat of coercion, intimidation, or physical harm designed to affect an electoral process and influence election outcomes. This can range from simple intimidation to mass killings, undermining democratic processes across Africa. Conflict transformation involves changing the way disputes are viewed, moving from destructive conflicts to opportunities for dialogue, inclusion, and peaceful resolution. This approach emphasizes cohesion and giving voice to all parties involved. Key strategies for mitigating electoral violence include early mediation to prevent escalation, inclusive dialogue that involves all stakeholders, and strong accountability measures. The focus is on prevention through comprehensive risk assessments and formal peace accords. The United Nations Development Program emphasizes prevention through proactive measures rather than reactive responses. Meanwhile, the African Union requires observer missions to monitor elections, complemented by local chiefs who enforce peace at the grassroots level. Traditional leaders derive their authority from enforcing cultural norms of peace and harmony, often substituting for weak formal judiciaries. They play crucial roles in grassroots enforcement during elections, bridging formal and informal systems. While powerful, traditional leaders' roles can be exclusionary if they do not include marginalized groups, potentially perpetuating inequalities. Ensuring inclusivity is vital for sustainable conflict transformation and electoral peace. Since 2010, Africa has seen over 200 national elections, with a decline in large-scale post-electoral violence. Institutional reforms, like strengthened electoral commissions and biometric voter registration, have contributed to this improvement. Digital tools, such as mobile tech for monitoring, have reduced fraud. However, challenges remain, including weak formal institutions, economic inequality, ethnic tensions, and external interference. Social media has amplified grievances, leading to virtual violence and online mobilization. As of 2025, 23 African countries are electoral democracies, while 15 remain authoritarian or hybrid regimes. Ghana serves as a positive case, where chiefs have successfully mediated disputes, enforcing harmony norms and preventing violence despite ethnic diversity. This pattern held in multiple elections, including 1992, 2000, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, and 2024. The 2024 election saw a record 80% turnout with no major violence. Chief-involved dialogue forums have been instrumental in ensuring peaceful power transitions. Ghana's experience demonstrates the effectiveness of traditional leadership in maintaining electoral stability. Kenya's 2007 post-election crisis resulted in over 1,000 deaths and highlighted the dangers of inadequate traditional mediation in preventing electoral violence. Following the crisis, reforms in 2008 devolved power to county governments, allowing traditional chiefs to take on important peacemaking roles in subsequent elections. Elections since then, including the closely contested 2022 race, have been largely nonviolent, with only isolated incidents. Kenya's experience demonstrates the importance of empowering traditional leaders and implementing decentralization to mitigate electoral violence. Looking ahead, technological integration and decentralization offer opportunities for improved electoral governance. Digital tools like blockchain and mobile monitoring are reducing fraud, while empowering subnational actors, women, and youth promotes inclusion. However, risks from climate change, migration, and geopolitical rivalries loom. Urbanization and displacement in the Sahel are fueling resource-based conflicts, with ACLED predicting a 15% rise in violence by 2030 if unaddressed. Experts like Nick Cheeseman and Mahmoud Mamdani advocate for community-led mediation, stressing that chieftaincy must evolve inclusively to avoid perpetuating inequalities. UNDP experts note success rates 60% higher when combined with formal tools. Key statistics show a 30% decline in election-related violence since 2010, with traditional mediation reducing disputes by 25 to 30%, and 65% of Africans trusting chiefs over politicians for conflict resolution. While challenges remain, a focus on culturally rooted conflict resolution can counter authoritarian backsliding and promote sustainable democratization in Africa. Success depends on hybrid institutions that blend formal mechanisms with traditional authority.